चलो अगेन, व्हाट इज द आउटपुट ऑफ लॉग? क्या होता है लॉग का आउटपुट? व्हाट इज द आउटपुट ऑफ लॉग? पावर. जो लॉग का आउटपुट है दैट इज अ पावर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई वर टू राइट this without using your calculators, can you solve it and tell me the value that you get finally using simple indices? There are two inputs and they are multiplying. The same example that we did, log 2, 64 can be written as 2 to the power 6. No, 2 to the power 6. Again, you do not need to memorize it. 2 to the power 6 can 2 6 dafa multiplier. It's multiplying by itself 6 times. And then it is multiplying by itself 7 times. So can I write it as? And 13 log 2 2. Should be my final answer. Is that right? What if I were to split these inputs that are multiplying? Log के दो inputs हैं. One is 64 and the other is 128. And eventually उनकी powers आपने add की. If I write it as log base to 64, what will this give me? It will give me the power that 2 has such that the value is 64. And what will this give me? The power that 2 has such that the value is, if I add both the power, that will be my final answer. And this is what I did. So this is the first, again, ab aaj ki class mein, this is the rule of log. Okay, no matter what input base I have, if the two inputs are multiplying, their logs will be added up. Is this clear? Make sense? Anything that is troubling you people right now? Be very specific. ये कब कर रहे हैं हम? Because log is giving me the power. Why can't I just take individual powers and then add them? So if the two inputs are being multiplied, their logs will add up. What is a log? Log is the power. हम वो भी तो करते हैं when bases are multiplying the powers. This is exactly what we are doing. Getting it? Now what if they are dividing? Minus. Same logic applied. If the inputs are dividing, their logs will be subtracted. Is this clear? कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं यहाँ तक? If the inputs are multiplied, just now tell me one thing. 2 to the power 6, same example, plus 2 to the power 7. Can you further simplify it through any indices rule? 2 to the power 6 plus 2 to the power 7. Can you simplify it through any indices rule? That is my question. कुछ नहीं कर सकते आप इसका. So same goes for this one. If I have log and the inputs are being added or subtracted, there is no log simplification for this. लिख लो इसको. Inputs अगर add या subtract हो रहे हो, so then there is no log simplification for this. Is this clear? कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Not no solution. We'll have to solve it some other ways, but there is no log simplification for this. हम bracket की तरह we cannot just open it. सही है. Sin cos में तो we are learned the double angle. We सीखेंगे हम आगे जाके. But in this one, there is no log simplification when the inputs are being added or subtracted. यहाँ तक बात clear है? Another rule is change of the base root. Alexa syllabus में नहीं आता, but this is very often used by us. We can use it on our own to simplify many different. ये सारे powers से ही बने हैं. This is not in focus anymore, but this is used by us. हम खुद ही use करते हैं for many other simplifications. कि सर I'm getting मेरा ही आंसर आ रहा है, उसका ही आ रहा है, log simplification करनी है, इस फॉर्म में लाना है. The question asks us to bring it any particular form. हमने base अगर कुछ और लगा ली थी, and later on if we need to change it into any other base, it's very easy. If you're changing the base, your input becomes input of the numerator, and your base becomes input of the denominator. Your input becomes input of the numerator when you want to change the base, and your base becomes input of the denominator. C is any other base. If you have a base A and if you want to change it to any other base C, this is when we use it. कोई भी base हो सकती है. नहीं, we will have to use it. देखना पड़ेगा. If while making a base, if we ended up कोई गलत base बना दिया, कुछ और base बना दिया, the question is asking us for a different base, we can use this method to change our base. Okay, now use your calculators and see, can the base take any decimal value? Yes. Can the base take any other positive integer? Can the base take any negative value? अब पहले एक बात बताओ, should this give me an answer? Log base -3 9 के -3 की क्या पावर हो कि वो 9 हो जाए? 2. But the log function that when it was developed, it was limited to counting. सही है, it was used and majorly used for countable things. So negative चीजें अक्सर हम numerical magnitudes में count नहीं करते. And but अब modern day mathematics में इसकी accommodation आ गई है, and आहिस्ता आहिस्ता people are using it for different things as well. But technically वो बना positive के लिए था, तो this can take any value जो 0 से बड़ी हो. बेस आपकी 1 भी नहीं ले सकता. चेक करो 1 ले रहा है कैलकुलेटर. What does this mean technically? 1 की क्या पावर हो कि वो 5 हो जाए? Example, the one that I've just written. So 1 की कोई भी पावर होगी, कभी वो 5 हो सकता है? This is undefined then. So the base can take any positive value. मैं base और input को लेता हूँ. if I am calling this my base, zero तो लेगा ही नहीं ना, my base b जो है that has to be greater than 0 and not equal to 1. And what about the input? Input can take any positive value. देखो input में you try to put a negative value, will that give you an answer? Getting it or not? सही है. इसी तरह से C, if I write log base 6 and 1 without using your calculator, tell me what should this give me. क्या होना चाहिए इसका आंसर? Log base 6 and 1, what should this end up being? हाँ, what does this mean? 6 की ऐसी क्या पावर हो so that it becomes 1? What power will 6 have such that it becomes 1? 0. Makes sense? So no matter what the base is, if your input is 1, the answer will always be 0. Is this clear now? Yes. What does this mean? Log base 2x is equals to 3. How do you read this? इसका क्या मतलब है? What power does 2 have such that it becomes x? What power does 2 have such that it becomes, and equal to ka you have your answer. What is the answer? 3. So you are telling me that in order to become x, 2 must take the power of 3, which is 8. Makes sense? Now, a very easy pattern to this is कि हम कहते हैं, if we are removing log, this 2 goes on the other side, and whatever is on the other side is pushed up और वो power बन जाता है. So this pattern will help us in removing logs. So if I have log base b, input a, and the answer is x, if I'm removing log, the b goes on the other side. It pushes the x up and makes it its power. क्योंकि हर दफा इतनी आसानी से we won't be able to analyze it. We'll not always be having numbers to analyze it. Is this clear? If we are removing log, the base goes on the other side, or whatever the value is on the other side, उसको push करके power बना देता है. इसकी भी थोड़ी सी we'll have a look at the logic behind this, दो चार of proper mathematical method to do this. If I have log base 2 x is equals to 3. Okay. थोड़े से mathematical method देख लो ना. Log base 2x, can I write? Is this right or wrong? What have I done? I've just taken the 3 and I've multiplied it by log 2 is 1. So does it change anything? No, it does not. So now can I write it as makes sense? Now can I compare that the value of x is just 2 cube, which is 8. We have understood it two ways. एक तो basic logic के through के ये हटा लें तो it goes on the other side, and another is this proper mathematical steps के साथ भी we can remove a particular log.